out here to bat. West Indies tried holder and keep voice. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a shot at the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Little Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out Holford in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son, he made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all our listeners throughout Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean, New York, London, wherever you are. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all our umpires, Ronaldo Rollox, Salvan Mitchell, who is away from us for quite some time. He keeps saying that he'll be here. I'm not seeing him at all. And of course we have our lone female umpire here today with us as usual, Ms. Simoya Sandiford.
Good afternoon.
So good afternoon, and it is a pleasure to be here today to continue the discussion on issues affecting Trinidad and Tobago, issues relative to politics, analyzing the politics, the things that are happening, the issues that are before us. It is always important to be able to do that in a very sober way, and we try to do that on evenings for 3 hours, Monday to Tuesday, and 2 hours on Friday. So, good evening, and my fellow umpire, Simoya, she's here. First, I want to say, before we even get into the show, I want to remind our listeners, Carnival 2026 kicks off with pure Calypso magic. Join us for the grand opening of the Kaiso Russo tent, Thursday, January 15th at 8 p.m. at the City Hall Auditorium, Knox Street, Port of Spain. That's tomorrow, by the way. And on the cards we have experienced legends all around the crazy contender, Lady Wonder, Queen Charlene, Brian London, Twiggy, and the new wave of talent including Sean and Charlene Bailey, Master G, Kaiso Mac, Nifta, Kojo, and extempo sensation Lionel Manswell. Hosted by Shirlene Hendrickson and powered by Kaiso Russo Band. It's one forgettable night of rhythm, wit, and tradition. Kaiso House or Kaiso Russo Tent, where icons meet the next generation. Don't miss it. That is tomorrow at the City Hall at 8 p.m. So, ladies and gentlemen, certainly the carnival season has kicked off.
Started, yes.
We are seeing a lot of things happening, a lot of fetes even very early.
Yes,
Fetes have started.
yes.
And as usual, we have it's for about 1 month of
Before
carnival,
the carnival.
activities, and that is something that foreigners alike, those who have money in your pocket to spend and enjoy yourself at carnival, something interesting to look forward to. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, Seymour, you weren't here.
Yes, yes.
And I was here for some time, kind of late sometimes, some evenings as usual. And we discussed, or we pulled apart the Tobago elections. You noticed that there was a blue wave in Tobago. Yesterday I came in the studio and I saw Ronaldo with all
I
the
saw
blue,
some cleaning products.
Yeah, all the blue cleaning products. So, so clearly, Ronaldo was demonstrating in a very satirical way how Tobago was cleaned out by the blue team. Very interesting, very, very interesting results.
Yes.
But, you know, this evening, I want to look at this whole thing and I want to look at some other things, other sides of this.
Yeah.
And probably to talk about, I saw an article in the newspapers, I think it was Sergio and Ali and this other political scientist was talking about it, and it brought to mind, you know, what's the role of opposition? And do we need opposition in the politics or the body politics in a democratic society? And what are the implications for no opposition in Tobago at this time? Right? How that would affect the smooth running, integrity, and everything in the politics, right? With $3+ billion to spend, no opposition. What should we, as Trinidadians or Trinidad and Tobagonians, are to be concerned about with respect to that? And that is an issue that should occupy the minds of the people for the next 3 to 4 years.
Absolutely.
Right?
Is it dangerous? Is it not?
It is. I mean, in any democratic society, there should be some kind of mechanism in the law to provide for some kind of opposition, or in the case where the people don't want the opposition, like in Tobago, some third element to bring about some kind of balance in governance and thinking and,
Yes.
putting forward policies for all the people. Because the system we run in Trinidad and Tobago is kind of like first past the post system,
yeah.
which to a large extent allows for the winner to take all.
Yeah.
And if the difference between the winner is slim, it means that there are a lot of people who are not represented in the parliament or not represented in the system,
Yeah.
but they would have voted. So, you know, sometimes we would want to consider a system where a proportional representation system, or, you know, those kind of system where at least the people who voted, they could have a say also in the parliament or in the administration. And that, without that system, you would have, you actually have a kind of conundrum with respect to what people see as objectivity in governance and that kind of thing. So that is something I'd like to hear what the public have to say with respect to that, because that, although I myself was rejoicing the fact that you know the PNM was, a message was sent to the PNM in Tobago also
For a second time.
but there's also the concern of no opposition.
Correct.
Right? Because no opposition could mean or will mean that you would have a situation where things are being done with no opposition, and you know the concept of groupthink.
Yep.
If
Groupthink, for sure.
without you politicians, without even thinking, will support things that is brought by the party,
Yep.
brought by the leader.
Yep.
For if only to remain in the loop or to remain relevant
Yeah.
to the party, they will just groupthink
Correct.
and support everything, some good or
Correct.
bad. So you'd have one group of people making all the decisions,
decisions.
and the decision may not necessarily be in the best interest of all the people or the
Correct.
majority of the people.
Correct.
And that is a concern, and I would like to hear what the public have to say about that.
Of course, we'd love to
Because
hear about
that is something that should concern or occupy
Of
the
course
minds
it
of
will.
all persons who
course it will.
are expecting good governance
Yep.
in this society.
And we know what happens when people are in power for so long, because it happened with the PNM. And you know, as some people would say, the PNM started off with good intentions, wanting to support everyone as an inclusive, as a nation, but then somehow they went down the wrong path of arrogance. So for some people, they would feel as though TPP runs that same risk because there's no one to hold them accountable,
Exactly.
no one to question what is happening.
Exactly.
So, and then, I mean, to be very honest, with the state of what is going on in the country right now, there are some people who rejoice and they say, yes, the UNC is doing the hard work, but some people on the ground are also saying they're giving off almost dictatorial behaviors.
Or,
so there's a
yeah.
concern that the TPP now having that full majority may also have that issue.
Ronaldo was raising that point on
Yeah.
video yesterday.
So
He
it's
was
a
saying that-
concern, not that it may be a reality, but there is
Yeah.
no other party to say, no, answer these questions. What is the reason for this expenditure? There's nobody to answer to.
Well, you see, the sad thing about it, some will say that the system in itself would have caused this, but to a large extent, the PNM would have brought that on themselves.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
the PNM, I could see the same thing happening in Trinidad.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Because somehow the PNM has become irrelevant. They've outlived their usefulness. They still continue to operate in the same 1960s mold of politics,
Yeah.
and not understanding that we have a new, I mean, everybody knows what's going on now, and everybody
That's
have an
right.
idea. You have social media,
Yes.
which is pervasive,
Yeah.
and you know, everybody could, even the child, young people could access
Yep,
social
the
media and see
information.
what's happening. You have TikTok, you have all these things
Yeah.
that telling you exactly. I mean, I was listening to let me play it. I mean, let me see if I can play it to the thing. Something that Fali said that really resonates. I'm not hearing it, but
If we could get the director.
Fali
to
would have
play
said something.
it. Can we get the director to play it?
Mr. Director, I don't know if you could help us with this video here, but Fali would have said something a few days ago. He said that, you know, the PNM is the party that
It's the more.
gives the impression that they are about black people the most. And really and truly, they really are for the 1%. Now, whether or not we see that, we see it as that. Some people have different machinations as to how they see that particular statement, because to a large extent, people certainly felt so. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, people certainly felt so. I myself was in the belly of the PNM for years, and when I saw, I mean, I could kind of like agree with what Fali saying there.
Yeah.
Right. The thing is, these and other things, right? And you raise the point, communication, how politicians communicate with people and that kind of thing, would have brought about the situation that the PNM has found themselves in. And to a large extent, we have all these old politicians still not thinking
That's right.
that there's a new wave of young people who are thinking and looking for a certain kind of governance that they are not seeing in the PNM, and to some extent in the government, the current government.
Yeah.
But time will tell,
Of course.
right?
Of course.
So if the PNM do turn make drastic turns on the way that they see the people, the way that the politics, the way that the messaging,
Yes.
they will be decimated.
I think, for years I've heard Dr. Rowley talk about young, bright people, bringing in those young, bright people. For me, I would say, he's not the old fogey. He's a young person. You have Vandana and all those other people. You put the old UNC stalwarts in the back, and you bring the young people to the front to give them the experience. That is what I thought PNM was planning to do. And so UNC beat them at their own game.
Well, that wasn't even PNM game, because PNM to me, I
No, but
don't want to say it on
given
radio, but
considering what Dr. Rowley said, just using his line, his terms that you bring in young, bright people.
They will use the young, bright people in other ways, but they will stifle them.
That's correct.
And
so
that
you didn't
is-
see that translating into the actions.
Yeah, but that translated into what you see now, because people realizing that.
Exactly.
Right?
So you can't fault
when
them
they get
for
in
saying
office,
that.
they're not hearing you. They're not, I don't want to say these things on radio, but I mean, the UNC is very, very different.
Yeah, you
that.
see the difference. Even
Very
if,
different.
some people may say the UNC's mindsets and whatever is still the same. If you into politics for years, you will notice certain patterns. However, there is an image that they are putting out front as though they are utilizing the people that has worked and has labored with them.
Exactly.
And so PNM has that issue where they have to look into
So when
the
you see people
arrogance.
fighting and kicking down people in Tobago and all that kind of thing, to what end? I mean, where are you getting for that?
What are you getting for
Nothing.
that? So I guess Tobago is comfortable with the style of Fali. I would love to see if Watson Duke is going to take some partnership, something that will be happening there, because he openly supported the TPP. So I am interested to see where Fali goes from here with Watson Duke. If
Right.
there's going to be a collaboration at some point, I'm interested to see that.
But the question here to us and to the public, and I would like to hear what they have to say, is what are the implications for
Without
this
an
win?
opposition.
This win in Tobago, and the fact that there are no opposition now. There's no opposition
good
at
question.
this time. So how governance can governance be objective? Can it be fair?
Yeah.
Can it work for all the people? Right? 16,000 people voted for the TPP, 10,000 something voted for the PNM.
Yeah.
That is still, still a lot,
It's
right?
a lot.
In comparison. So, but the 10,000 will not necessarily be represented in the way that they feel that they should be represented. So because nobody won.
Exactly.
So it's a question I'm seeing that they are challenging two seat Mongrace and Wim. But I don't see that making any significant change. So let's hear what the public have to say. Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening. Sorry, one second.
Yeah, listen.
Good evening to the umpire.
Yes.
Yes, my apologies. Good evening to each one and every one of you all, Mr. Matheson, Miss Sandy Ford. Happy to hear you. First time in a little while, and obviously, good evening to His Wisdom, Mr. Rulox. To answer your question straightforward, Mr. Matheson, what are the implications of no opposition? In my opinion, this is an opportunity for the other parties to show that they really care about the standard of living, the development, and the persons in Tobago. Clearly, I mean, you say, sometimes, they say you see a character of a person when no one is watching. Character is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So in this situation, you might not be enjoying the perks or whatever they may be of opposition, but obviously it's your chance to monitor. And I heard one leader of a party say on another program this morning that they will definitely monitor the works of the current administration, and when they do good, they will applaud it and support it because it is in the best interest of the Tobagonians. And if they see things looking a little questionable, they will chime in with their observation of things, which I think is the best approach. And really and truly is for the best interest of the citizens. And, we could probably use some of that in Trinidad from the current opposition, provide some ideas, and one more point that came to mind in terms of, Tobago, unlike Trinidad, has not really had like a major resource boom. We have had our oil boom, and unfortunately, from some of the reports you would have heard, maybe the benefits of those booms were not managed in the best way possible. Tobago is still looking for its development, and they more into tourism and agriculture. So as persons looking for development, you can't really fabricate results. I guess the voting would have clearly showed that, hey, all the sweet talk, we're not looking for that anymore. We're looking for actual development of infrastructure and opportunities and equal rights, etc. So it's an opportunity for leadership and opposition to show that they really care about the public. Right? Thanks for the time to contribute, and I'll continue to listen.
Very good contribution, Kola. Very good contribution. The thing is, it's one thing to say that if you're in opposition, it's one thing to say that if you didn't win and you remain in opposition, it's one thing to say you will chime in, you will look at it and you will talk. But officially, there are no opposition.
That's correct.
And that's is the question that has to be answered.
That concentration of power, because that's what's happening there. Do you think this should be a good time for persons to consider constitutional reform to the extent that there should be a limited prime ministerial term? Because this could go on as long as it could go on, eh?
Well, yeah. I mean,
but
the same thing exists. The same thing exists in Trinidad and Tobago.
No, of course.
I mean, you have the Senate, but the same thing exists in Trinidad and Tobago to some extent.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if you remember the No Vote campaign in 1971. You might have been too young.
I was not born, Stephen. Were you telling me about 1971?
Right. But the No Vote campaign with the PNM within everything. So we had that kind of situation in trial already. So, but the thing is, constitutionally, we have a kind of small fix in Trinidad.
Yes.
But in Tobago, the situation is a little different. Let's take this call.
Caller, you just have 2 minutes.
Good evening. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, good afternoon to the panel and to the listeners.
Good afternoon.
I don't see anything without it having an opposition, because the Constitution gives way for elections. If you feel that those that you give power, you need to strip them of power.
Yes.
Right? Some of the concerns, however, is the deeds that people in power make at times that stretch beyond the period that you elect them for. And they tie the entire nation into things that really ought not to went forward unless it has the support of the majority of the entire country.
Right.
And I don't know when we will consider all these different factors, but I feel somehow Tobago have need to rub off in Trinidad, because some people here need to be stripped of power. Right? As I say, the Constitution allows for, if the people that they're voting in the Blue Party doesn't do right by them, that they will have the power once again to determine if they're stripping them of power. But it is time that we are, what is the word I'm looking for, decisive in that same regard as Tobago, where we're not taking stupidness. You can feel how you want about who we replace you with, but we are letting you know that when we gave you that responsibility, we are holding you to a certain standard. And we are not making you a king. We are paying you and compensating you handsomely, and we require you to do a certain type of job for the benefit of every single body. Right? Irrespectful of who they vote for and if they even vote at all. But I want to give Tobago a thumbs up for always having what it takes to send a message when a message needs to be sent.
Okay.
Thank you for allowing me.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you so
thank
much.
you. So clearly, we hearing some very
Interesting
credible
points.
and interesting points on this particular issue, and we'd want to continue that on the other side of the hour. We are going for a break to pay some bills, and when we come back, you can chime in. We will continue with this discussion.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join us live on the Street 919 FM every second and fourth Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp the numbers 398-8282 or our office numbers 241-7568 and 310-8671. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our responsibility.
Option for a chance to break away with bigger playway prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the playway breakaway. We betting hard and we betting hard in the playway breakaway. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly. What are you doing? Crunchnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood in the vein. We need KFC again and again. Time to crunch, time to crunch, time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now. What are you doing? KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchnival. What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, thicker, like rocket. It's a Crunchnival with the baddest buckle it. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunchnival. The KFC chicken joy carnival and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunchnival at KFC.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m., Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Il Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Torlish, Carice Pascal, Deep Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Ring. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Brio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Togo South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
How you just turn on this time machine, boy?
Bro, we have to...
Yes, I know, we have to go, but I have to start it.
On Sunday, February 1st, 2026, Captain Starbright and Tim Tim are going to take your kids on a magical journey to the past, present, and future of Carnival, the greatest show on earth. Get ready for Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
Yeah, but how are we going if this time machine not working, boy?
Bro, you're putting me Smolter. It's powered by Smolter.
Oh, it's powered by Smolter. All right, put it. All right. right, let's go.
Kids Carnival Kingdom, back to the future. Sunday, February 1st, Skinner Park, San Fernando. Rides, slides, games, soca stars, and more. Parents, watch them learn about their culture and save the future of Carnival. Early bird tickets available online at islandetickets.com or timetolime.com and in store at advertised outlets. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Call 337-KIDS for more information. Kids Carnival Kingdom, back to the future.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Come experience the Classic Russo Grand Opening 2026 on Thursday, 15th January, City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Admission $200, 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. And Friday, 16th January at Kaiso under the Royal Umbrella, corner Broom Street and Tragrit Road, opposite JMMB Bank. Admission $150. Both shows 8 p.m. with performances by All Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Brian London, Twiggy, Dr. Wilby, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Come, enjoy the Classic Russo experience. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco Office, New City Mall, and at the box office. On the day of the show, it's giveaways and more giveaways. It's Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso 2026.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Building dreams, delivering excellence. That's McClatchy Construction Company Limited. Since 2008, McClatchy Construction has grown into one of Trinidad and Tobago's most trusted names in construction. From residential homes to large-scale commercial and industrial projects, we bring integrity, innovation, and professionalism to every endeavor. Our services include general contracting, design and build, construction management, restorations, renovations, structural steelworks, infrastructure development, home construction, and equipment rental. Whatever your vision, we have the expertise to bring it to life. With over 17 years of proven experience and a portfolio of landmark projects, more than 70% of our work comes from repeat clients, a true testament to our quality and reliability. For trusted construction solutions, contact McClatchy Construction Company Limited at 221-5405 or 222-5897 or via email. admin@mcclatchyconstruction.com. McClatchy Construction Company Limited, building strong foundations for a better tomorrow.
The Lion Brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Palori, fry, bake, roti, and double stew, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion Brand is the reason. When the Lion Brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion Brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion Brand.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and enjoy a spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, Boundless Harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, Boundless Harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from Kings Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion. Pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Better you play.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we will be taking another short break shortly, but we want to continue the discussion where we left off earlier on, and that is what implications
there's no opposition
looming by the fact that the Tobago House of Assembly has no opposition. Let's take this call.
Yes,
good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Matos and Miss Simona.
Good evening.
Yeah, I think Miss Simona struck a point there with respect to the constitutional reform of the Tobago Assembly. Because as they move towards autonomy, I think that there should be greater opportunity for accountability. And maybe, as it stands now, is a unicameral system, chambers, a matter of fact. And you may want to move towards a bicameral one, probably something resembling the Senate and whatnot, where you probably have appointments from the opposition, the government, and probably independent.
Yeah.
The question of if the operation of the assembly, I don't know really, I haven't studied it. it resembles the operations within the House of Representatives, or the Parliament, where one would have question time and all that. One may have the question of debate, because if you don't have the other side, who are you going to debate with? How are you going to debate? The question of select committee and probably joint select committee, that is no, I don't think that would be possible. Those things would be possible. The question also of the opposition, if there was one, probably providing or presenting alternative policy. That is not possible.
Clear the way and turn the volume up to the max. It's time for the Soca Pick of the Day, sponsored by NLCB. And that is your Soca Pick of the Day. Keep it locked right here for more of the biggest hits and the sweetest vibes, sponsored by NLCB.
For a chance to break away with bigger playway prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the playway breakaway. We fetting hard and we betting hard in the playway breakaway. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Yes, caller. Sorry about that. You can call us back. We had to take that short break, and we did warn you before, but I was trying to say to you that that was going to happen. Yeah.
No.
We have another. Yeah. Right. So I was saying that the caller earlier on was saying that, was talking about, and Simoy, you raised it.
Yes.
The point of
constitutional reform.
Constitutional reform. If only in Tobago. But let's see if this is the caller calling back. Caller?
Yeah, good day, Umpire Neverson, Umpire Matheson. We are officiating, and we have our female umpire there at Square. It was not me who was speaking about it. I think it was Mr. West.
Yes,
one of my favorite colleagues, Mr. West.
Yeah, Mr. West.
Yeah. But what I want to say, this is our opposition, right, in Tobago. We, like some people are calling for proportional representation in the House of Assembly. Now the thing is, Tobago is unique in that it has homegrown parties, and then it has a migrant party, which is the PNM, right? And the people have decided they do not want, or they have lost grounds with they have lost groundings with the PNM, and they decide to have the homegrown party in this election at all the seats, right? You cannot have proportional representation just to keep the PNM in relevant in Tobago, right? So unless you have PNM and the UNC not participating in the House of Assembly elections, and you leave it open to only homegrown parties, then you could maintain a form of proportional representation.
But then the argument will be that the party in power in Trinidad will always have some kind of influence on what happens in Tobago, because there's a heavily dependence on for the governance structure in Tobago to work on Trinidad.
No, well, the government in Trinidad has
anything short of full autonomy for Tobago. If you understand what I'm saying.
The government, yes, what I'm saying, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, whoever it is, still will have oversight over the Tobago House of Assembly.
That's what I'm saying.
And they also have control. Yeah. And then they have control mechanisms like people like the Auditor General and the Comptroller of Accounts and all these people who will have what they call control mechanism in terms of the financial aspects of what's taking place financially in Tobago. Right? Now, what can happen in Tobago? There are pressure groups in Tobago. I don't know if there are any. We live in a unique political system where even in Trinidad we don't have pressure groups. pressure groups will have to take up the role of the opposition and monitor the operations of the House of Assembly. But we cannot have proportional representation in Tobago unless the elections, comprise only of homegrown parties, right? Right? The PNM has lost its relevance in Tobago, and the UNC long-term has decided they're not participating because it's the same thing in Tobago. So what will you do? Keep the PNM there just to say you have a presence in Tobago under a proportional representation system?
Right. So that is, you see, that is why we wanted to have this kind of discussion, because clearly, these are the issues that will come out of a discussion like that. As a conundrum, you have to be able to deal with. And clearly, you're correct, right? I mean, as a matter of fact, all the comments, right? So what do we do?
Well, we have to let the administration, the Tobago, the Fali administration, they operate. And as I said, let the pressure groups deal with issues as they arise, right? Because Jamaica, for example, had a no vote campaign between 1983 and 1989, and that is how Siega came in power, and the government ran to a no vote campaign again. Just as how we had in 1971 here in Trinidad, where Mr. Roy Richardson, he closed the floor as opposed and became the opposition member, being a member voted in on a PNM ticket. Right? In 1972, he closed the floor. Right? So it was mentioned that was an arrangement with he and Dr. Williams. So I do not know what that it was said or reported in the newspaper in those days.
So as to create some kind of semblance of an opposition.
Yes. Now, I do not know all the rules of the House of Assembly under the Act, right? Whether a current member of this new Fali administration could cross the floor, but he'll have to form and go to he has to go as an independent.
It will be interesting to see how that will work. Because they don't have a Senate, so it will be interesting to see how that will work. I mean, that by itself could have...
You're not going as an independent senator, you're going as an independent member of the House. You understand? I don't know if you're not going as an independent senator, you're going as an independent member. Right? That is if the rules of the House Assembly are catering for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody has to cross the floor if that is possible. Otherwise, the House Assembly will have to go ahead as normal, and pressure groups and other interest groups will have to be the opposition to any aspects that they feel is not going right in Tobago there. Right? But as far as proportional representation is concerned, there can be no proportional representation in Tobago unless homegrown parties take part in those assembly elections. Because the two Trinidadian-based parties, I don't want to repeat myself, they have not found favor as entities in Tobago anymore. Right? And that is how the situation is. And I want to correct one of our regular members. He keep talking about the Westminster system. I heard I mention this morning of this Westminster, and I want to tell people the term is Westminster system. We corrected that from day one, and that is why I love this program. We corrected that mistake people make from day one, and we still have people listening to this show and talking about Westminster system.
Yeah.
Right. So anyhow, Mr. Mattis and all female umpire, thanks, and right. So I may come in later. Let me hear what the other people have to say.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. Thank you.
Mr. President, if you was calling, you could call us back, because I know you have a contribution to make. Yes, he's on the line. Mr. President. Mr. President. Yeah, Mr. President. All right, we lost that caller there. Mr. President. All right. So the question is whether or not the fact that there is no opposition would have any major implication in relation to governance and accountability.
Yes.
In particular in Tobago. Let's hear Mr. President. Mr. President.
Okay, right now, then the frequency will take a long time before coming. Good afternoon, Mr. Stephen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Sister. Give me a flip the computer.
That's okay.
Samola.
Samoya, yeah.
Simola, yeah. Flip the computer here. Okay, good afternoon. And good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon, God. And God always look to talk to me, because he just talk to all of us, but we really know which part God is so that we doesn't recognize it's God that's talking. But he go in and say something here now, that even so, we get the 15-1, which we appreciate and much respect. Plenty of us who consist of the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. We appreciate that Tobago make a bold step. But they didn't make the bold step with all the people. It make the bold step with a certain amount of people, because we always still have to realize, all the man will be talking, but if it's PNM dead and it shouldn't have an opposition, I find that so much rubbish talk, because they quite telling you, it didn't take all of the people of Tobago. It take a portion of the people to make 15, and a portion of the people vote elsewhere. We have to understand that. Will that ever stop? So, Ali and them get 15 to run for the next 5 years, how much ever it is. But within the end of the next 5 years, and it is ever privileged that any organization could be independent, it could be the UNC, it could be the PNM that could vie for membership again in the House of Assembly.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the questions we have to ask. So that when I hear a lot of people want to put away the PNM especially, I find we're not thinking right, because to think about what we know the PNM supposed to be, what we know it is, and as we know it what it's supposed to be, then who holding the PNM now, as we may say, the white people or the white supreme, they're not going to let go the status of what hold in a colonial country. Don't care what you may say, and as I say, don't care how we might think we want to put them out, we not put them out. I am very, very conscious of what I'm saying. I understand why we move out with PNM for a while. And I use the word a while, let them catch themselves, especially the persons who we asking to catch themselves as we. We are the PNM.
Well,
whoever votes PNM,
Mr.
we are that.
Mr. President.
So if we don't catch ourselves and realize the politics that we have to come up with to continue the organization that is we who hold, and I say the we, I hope we understand who is that we, and move away and try to see how we could control it and not have the white percent or the 1% control the majority of the organization, because the UNC know what they're doing. Those are the two governments, as we say, holding in this country. Mr. Farley comes like, now, and you go talk, Mr. Stephen. Mr. Farley come like the 12 that I was asking for the outside organization that's Philippines. And I was saying that they didn't necessarily have to be Prime Minister, but they managed to be, because it now started and it will continue so until all somebody understanding and they got in and he will do something. There is need for that force in our system of government. But at the same time, what happened over there, open up the shops to make you realize it. This proportional representative system should work. I don't know how it's going to work in Tobago in the sense of the TSA business. But it should work, as I always say, the autumn carried tree. If it don't have that, you could imagine it don't have a Democrat in America and only Trump rule. Could you understand that in England, where it have only the rule of the constitution without an opposition, or any other country that don't have an opposition? So where are we going with this conversation? What we have to do is to try to see how we could set that situation to get that same proportional representation. Because first past the post is the problem we have in presently right now. That if at all one person stand up in there, believe me, it's going to have a bigger problem, because one person will come like a king and have too much power.
President, you know,
yes,
you're saying something here, right? And while I want to agree with you, the people have spoken. And let me finish say what I'm saying, right? And at the end of the day, you know, what seems to be universal, even in Trinidad, about the people who you said the PNM have a philosophy. They give the impression that they are for something. I don't know what that something is, but here what? A lot of people, even Fali said it, and after you come off, after you are done with your contribution, I'll play a statement that Fali made. Even Fali said it, and it resonates with a lot of people who support the PNM.
It resonates with me too, because I understand it, and that's why I say the reason why the PNM lost in many respects is because of this white superiority in the organization. I understand that. But it's hard to, because even so, look at UNC. UNC holding on to a white supremacist government to carry her role to it.
Nah, I don't see that. I mean.
Trump is a white supremacist.
I don't see that. I think UNC is a lot more balanced now than
before. I will take that, because there are different cultures looking at a different direction. I still have a string on them, because they are our ethnic people that cares about themselves. And in some respect, they will do things here that will help others. But I know that they care about themselves. But being shown in the last 5 years they were there, and it's going to show. As soon or later, it's going to show.
All right, okay. Well, let's hear what Fali had to say about that.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
PNM is the most anti-black party in the country. Don't be fooled. Let me be plain to you. They just walk around fooling poor black people, telling them this is a black party, and when they get in office, it's only the 1% that's benefit. Only people that don't look like me and you. And that is why in the past, we call the former Prime Minister a roast breadfruit. He black outside and the inside still white. And not even no good butter breadfruit. He not even yellow, inside white.
My God.
So, I mean, Mr. President, I hope you heard that. And that is how a lot of people feel in Trinidad too, who supported the PNM for years. It is how the public felt. Let's take this call. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Matheson. That tape you played there, it is my view that the PNM is in need of radical reform. And they need to go back to look at what Patrick Manning did in 1986, 87. Look at what Kamala did between 2010 and after the 2015, in terms of rebuilding the party and bringing in, drawing fresh blood, young people and all that, as you discussed earlier on. Unless they do that, they remain where they are. Unless they do that, and unless the UNC gives them the opportunity to make inroads, otherwise that's it. But they need serious reform. You cannot bring back those. When in 1986, I don't know if you were wrong. When the PNM lost the election, Patrick Manning brought in a whole new blood. That is where Rowley and those people came in, and Valley and all these people, a whole host of people. They got rid. He called it the new PNM. When Kamala lost the election, she started the rebuilding process, all the old lads and them, she got rid of them. and brought in and prepare the younger ones to take the mantle of governance. And if the current leader doesn't take that into account, well, she's in a very, difficult path down the road. I just want to clear up something, Mr. Martin, if you would allow me. With respect to, in fact, it is not my position with respect to, I don't hold a view with respect to proportional representation. I still believe that if there's a committee that is set up to deal with the question of reform, they would have to decide that based on consultation and whatever it is. That the process must take its course. And I don't know, but what I'm saying is that I listened to the news today and I heard the Attorney General speaking about the bill that is going to be going before the Tobago bill. I don't know if it's the same autonomy bill that they're speaking about. And I'm saying that, I don't know what it contains, but I'm saying that there may be the need, this is what I'm saying, for reform of the Assembly. Another thing I want to talk about, I think one of your callers spoke about, yes, you need checks and balance. You don't have it I spoke earlier on about those committees, joint select. I don't know if that exists within the House of Assembly. The question of debate, if one side can't debate, they take two sides or three sides or what to debate. The question of people proposing alternative policy proposals or position, that may not exist because you only have one party, you only hear one side.
Exactly.
Outside of the party, outside of the Assembly, you have the civil society. You have a very vibrant Tobago chamber,
yes.
Right? And you have a very vibrant tourism sector which is organization you have there. Yes, you have the PNM that could operate on the outside in terms of still questioning, going having media conference and all conferences and whatnot over time. So there are guardrails. And you have the news again, you have the media again. Those are when you speak, I think the caller spoke about pressure groups, and yes, you have that there. But I would rather see, because you need the democratic process to take root and to prosper in that environment. And I don't think without an opposition, there may be challenges.
Yes.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
There certainly may be challenges without an opposition, because especially with respect to accountability, who is to say that how the monies are spent or allocated is the way or is for the benefit of all the persons of Tobago or the majority of the persons of Tobago? And that is what a two-party and opposition would have brought to the Assembly in any way. So
yeah, but what I want to say also is that the party in power may also be at disadvantage in the sense that people may go, we know Trinidad allegation prosper in this place.
Yes.
And I'm saying that if you don't have people within, you don't have the opportunity to be questioned within the House and to put your position to refute allegations and accusations about corruption and how the money is spent and all. It could blossom on the outside. It could take all kind of direction on the outside, and it could hurt you as the party in governance.
Yes, it could hurt.
So I'm saying that it could work against him.
It could work against him.
Yeah. So thank you.
So in that sense, I could see reform as something very, very critical that should or could take place very shortly. Right?
Yeah,
this is a lesson.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But I would agree with those who said that this is something that was brought about or brought on the Tobago people by the PNM. So let's hear what you, Trinidad and Tobago, not just Tobago, but Trinidad and Tobago have to say about this particular position. And I'm seeing Mr. President calling back. Let's hear what his contribution is. Mr. President?
Yeah, again, that Mr. who now talk, almost finalize and end the conversation in a real way. Without that opposition, in real, that rule in Tobago will disrupt. It will disrupt. I know my people. I know this. I actually understand what is envy, what is jealousy. I understand that in a society where everybody don't think alike, there is a division in the society itself.
Okay, so
as a government,
Mr. President,
want to tell them that they will do for all, they will never able to do for all.
Mr. President, I want to go for a little break to pay our
okay, but yes, that is no problem. That is no problem.
Energy? Check. Royal Castle flavor? Double check. Let's dive into the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we head into the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
It's a while I in party, so long I in fit. I have a right to be happy. Just give me rhythm and bass. 10 to 1 in the party. I know it can't done yet. Hey, give me the rum and the chaser. Hey, I'm feeling. It's like a love potion. Take me to the promised land. Have my devotion. Have that kind of feeling. From across the ocean. Sweetest emotion. Next thing I know, both hands in the air. I go with for days. Calypso deep in my brain. It kinda hard to explain. There's only one place to find me. Tick tock in it, 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 higher mass. Tick tock in it, 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 higher mass. Good vibes with good friends. We are alive and in good health. Boy, so high, like I want to fly away. Every time I take a jump, and every time I take a wave, I'm feeling. It's like a love potion. Take me to the promised land. Have my devotion. Have that kind of feeling. From across the ocean. Sweetest emotion. Next thing I know, both hands in the air. I go with for days. Calypso deep in my brain. It kinda hard to explain. There's only one place to find me. Tick tock in it, 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 higher mass. Tick tock in it, 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 higher mass.
That was the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we head into the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Yes, listeners, we had to give way to our Royal Castle segment So we are back. Mr. President, I see you are still on your line, so you can continue.
Okay, yeah, I realize that myself too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, go ahead. Mr. President? Okay, like, our caller seems to be having some difficulties. I'm not hearing him. Let's take this other call. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, yes. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
yes. Right. A pleasant good afternoon to the Third Empire, Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I am very glad, right, that the TPP won in Tobago, right, because by the end of their 4 years, we will see who was picking the heat, right? Because I listened to Mr. Duke on our interview last night on our TV station, right? And he was telling the interviewer that he teamed up with Mr. Fari because they want to get rid of the PNM from Tobago. And they did that, right? Now they're moving in to have the autonomy bill structured and passed, right? But they didn't tell the people what Tobago will sustain on, how they will, if they go by their own, right? Like Trinidad have oil, you have gas, methanol, right? Tobago have nothing. So I didn't hear no talks like, if I were Tobagonian, I would like to hear talks like, how are we going to sustain on our own? Will we, like, you could merge with Singapore, and we can have a car manufacturing company, some kind of thing, all we have is each autonomy and talk, right? So the people vote for talk, as far as I seen it, because up to this day, Mr. Fari never tell Tobagonians how they're going to sustain themselves, right? So I see that as only talk, because for the last 4 years, I didn't understand that and believe. For the last 4 years, when he got into office, by the last 4 years gone there, he was telling us that he was going to have an embassy in Trinidad, right? I didn't see that. I don't know if you I don't know if anything come to play. I don't know if you saw that into play, Mr. Marcus, or anything like that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't see nothing like no embassy. I ain't hearing nothing else. Right? So when he talk, right? So, but I wish them luck. I wish them all the best. But we ain't hearing nothing about how they're sustaining themselves. So I find the Tobagonians are following blind in the They're blind. And unless I see some kind of sustainability on what kind of things they're going to implement for Tobago to hold on their own, I can back them. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
I call that. Thank you. Well, I want to say that, I try not to deal too much any negatives, and not because you didn't hear anything or what they could do. There are a lot of things. Any critical thinking person who can think, a lot of things a nation set out on their own destination to self-governance can do. to survive. And I'm sure with whatever initiative that may came about to provide that, it will have some value proposition that would include the survival of the people of Tobago. So it is not that, and it's not secession we're talking about here. And clearly, you know, any kind of decision where you have that kind of separation, you would have, more than likely, you would have some kind of plan as to how you're going to survive going forward. So, you know, I leave that for the planners and the politicians to decide. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Patterson. And a song like, yeah, with you. Good evening to her.
Yeah. Our females umpire have left us kind of
good afternoon to her.
because she had some other things to get done this evening.
Mr. Matterson, I could describe you as a man selling, as a good snake oil salesman. I'm going to put it that way.
I like that description.
Yeah, you could be a good snake oil salesman. Because I
snake oil salesman are needed sometimes, you know.
Yes, but I heard a man say today, if his father said to him that honesty gives you poverty. So, okay, but if my grandparents taught me, your word is your bond. If you give a man your word, your life must go. Even my man I met named John Hall told me the very same thing. He said, if I give him a word, my life must go, but my word must stand. Even though my life go, my word will stand. I working with a Muslim man. Son sent me home and I was walking out the gate, he coming in. He asked what happened and I explained what happened here. He said to his son, he said, whether I'm here or whether I'm not here, isn't my presence here? That means you respect authority. So, PNM is not a black party. I never seen in my little lifetime in Trinidad and Tobago PNM represent itself as an African party.
Only the supporters.
So let's mash breaks there again. Dr. Eric Williams, I told this to Brother Mohammed on Sunday morning or Saturday morning. Dr. Eric Williams is not or was not considered an African man. First thing first. But when we went for independence in Marlborough House in England, the opposition said to the lords in England, we are going to be ruled by these people who they considered less than them. His Africanness came out there then from the opposition. So, in Trinidad and Tobago, at one time, before Bazdeo Pandey, the conversation with the opposition is that the government only see about African people. The building house all about HD house and Lavantil and Mova and Arima for African people. So don't say the PNM ain't doing nothing for African people because African people live in the same house now. African people didn't make themselves economically viable. That is not the government fault. Because if the PNM didn't do anything for Africans, how did the Indians become wealthy? How this, and Brother Mohammed tried to tell me this one get help and that one get help. I'm not disputing there may be people who get help. But majority of the people who have wealth in Trinidad and Tobago didn't actually get help per se. I saw a man would wait until the government have auctions and go and buy one truck from Wassa and he fix it. Buy the next one and he fix it up and he rent it to the state. Same truck, buy from the state. And black people walking by Wassa, but an Indian man come from up the road and buy the same truck that we was just driving by Wassa and match up and buy it and turn around and went it back to the same state to move garbage. Innovation. So the man used his wits and his brain because some of us who had some jobs is the government owned. We had an accident this week on here where a policeman sometime in the night, coming in the morning, going up Main Way in the east, run off the road, cross the median, take out a lamppost. throw the female officer out the car and mash up 3 other cars. Not so, Mr. Matteson? And nothing, no one, up to this day, ain't questioning the action of that. Where was the officer going at that speed at that hour of the night? I haven't even heard the commissioner of police come out and mention something and tell to the citizens in these other cars on the next side of the road, the police service apologize to them. Where are we going, Mr. Matteson? And then we want to turn around to blame African people for not blame the PNM for African people not getting anything. I know a man named Mr. Choco working on the wharf, and he's one black man with the man who owned this radio station living. He went inside years ago. He said to me, you know something? A piece of land in here was 60,000. When I gave him a back pay, I take my money. That's the only black man I know coming out in them time, long time, in a 3/4 pants, sneakers and socks. He look like an American. But he's a Trinidadian, work on the wharf and made himself something with the same wharf money. So don't say that, Mr. Matteson. I'll leave it there. Enjoy evening.
Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, we are continuing with the discussion as it relates to the blue wave in Tobago and the fact that there is no opposition at this time. What are the implications? What are the challenges for accountability? What are your views on that? I'd like to hear that, because clearly the political scientists would have spoken on it. I would have heard Hamid Ghani spoke about it today, and that is a question that would, remain in the minds of all thinking persons at this time. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. I know we're getting close to closing off here.
Yeah.
But here, man, that's situation with Tobago, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you had the one seat with PNM in Tobago for the last 4 years, what was the difference it brought in the governance of the THA? None. Because the THA was governed by Fali. You had 14 members there. So that one PNM seat gave no resistance at all, and nothing that Fali and them wanted to do. It interfered. Fali and they did what they want to do. So therefore I don't see why people trying to make a bacchanal with the whole of Tobago get wiped out, and all it have is only Fali inside of there and the PNM have no seat. I don't understand that. The opposition is there for a purpose. And while it is there, it's supposed to do something. Definitely when the opposition have no say in it. It matters not if you have PNM there or not. So it's just to accept that right now, Tobago, all 15 has gone to Fali. And they do what they please. Just as what they was doing for the last 4 years. I will leave it there.
Thank you, caller. And, that that too is something that we would want to examine, because the caller is very correct. Clearly, and we've seen it in Trinidad too. I mean, we have our opposition, who is the PNM in Trinidad and Tobago, but to me what they're saying and nothing seems to be the same. So, is it that the opposition is weak? Is it that the conditions under which the opposition speak at times makes them irrelevant? What is it? Because the opposition is not there to oppose only. I mean, if you're seeing good governance or you're seeing good things happening, maybe you could also give credit to that too. Good evening, caller.
Yes, gentlemen. Good afternoon. Well, it might be a helpful hint to ask, does the PNM, the Red Jersey side, do they desperately need help? Because if they could go from 12-0 a couple of years when Orville London was there, and a fella like Watson, with all kinds of accusations, could come and beat them, and then they shift the goalposts by adding 3 more seats, and now Farley come. If you look at the way Farley got there, all kinds of confusion. And Farley come now.
Caller, so we want to go for a break to pay some bills, right?
Yeah.
When we come back, I would like to continue this discussion with you. Right?
Very well.
So you can call us back on the other side of the hour.
I'll call you back.
And so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, break away. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
What are you doing? Crunchnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood and we vein, we need KFC again and again. Start to crunch, start to crunch, start to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now. What are you doing? KFC time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchnival. What are you doing?
Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, thicker, like rocket. It's a Crunchnival with the baddest booking it. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunchnival with KFC. Chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunchnival at KFC.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m., Naparima San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Il Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Tornish, Carice Pascal, D. Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Rain. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Prio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Tuco South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
Come experience the Classic Russo Grand Opening 2026 on Thursday, 15th January, City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Admission $200. 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. And Friday, 16th January at Kaiso under the Royal Umbrella, corner Broom Street and Tragrit Road, opposite JMMB Bank. Admission $150. Both shows 8 p.m. with performances by All Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Brian London, Twiggy, Dr. Wilby, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlene Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Come, enjoy the Classic Russo experience. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco Office, New City Mall, and at the box office. On the day of the show, it's giveaways and more giveaways. It's Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso 2026.
How you just turn on this time machine, boy?
Bro, we have to...
Yes, I know, we have to go, but I have to start it.
On Sunday, February 1st, 2026, Captain Starbright and Tim are going to take your kids on a magical journey to the past, present, and future of Carnival, the greatest show on earth. Get ready for Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
Yeah, but how are we going if this time machine not working, boy?
Bro, you're putting me smalter. It's powered by smalter.
Oh, it's powered by smalter. All right, put it. All right, let's go.
Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future. Sunday, February 1st, Skinner Park, San Fernando. Rides, slides, games, soca stars, and more. Parents, watch them learn about their culture and save the future of Carnival. Early bird tickets available online at islandetickets.com or timetolime.com and in store at advertised outlets. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Call 337-KIDS for more information. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
The Lion Brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Palori, fry, bake, roti, and doubles too, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion Brand is the reason. When the Lion Brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion Brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion Brand.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and enjoy a spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion, pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born. Kaisorama!
Postman again. Hey. Ticket book already, hotel book already, rental reserve already, pocket full of money, enough y'all inside the army, are ready to party. Hey, this is Carnival rising. Carnival time is so special to me. plenty fetting, good vibes and high energy. I love the sexy freedom the women display. It's the vacation experience with fetting every day. Ocean view, balancing with my crew, pumping like a superstar with no work to do. No problem, I studying, no negativity. Jumping with me, this one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes. Yeah. I don't want no bad vibes, all I want is good vibes. It's plenty drinking when I line in. Please don't bother me when you see me whining, and if you see me drifting, just leave me alone. I just come to party, wind up on somebody, jump up in the Juve, play my super pussy, get over behind a truck and chip until I can walk. This is how I do it, carnival vibes, yeah. This one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes, yeah. This is how I get on, this is how I have fun, this is how I wind down in carnival hot sun. I don't care who watching, I don't care who talking, I just spend my money, so I go party hearty. Leave me, let me get on, leave me, let me have fun, leave me, let me party. I just spend my money. Leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me. This is carnival bacchanal. This one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes, yeah.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, callers and listeners, Third Empire, I am back, and we would continue on the discussion we were having earlier on before the break, and maybe those who were trying to call before, maybe you can call now. I wanted to also pay homage to a very important person to me, and also to the PNM, or to some members of the PNM. That is Eddie Hart. Eddie Hart would have died on January 4th, well over a week ago, and he was buried later yesterday. And that man played a very, very integral role in my personal development. And that man is a man that I respected a lot. Now, I saw a lot of big PNM faces sitting in his funeral yesterday. And, you know, some of them I know personally had no respect for that gentleman. But I would say less about that now. That gentleman and I had some really, really deep introspective discussions in between 2001, 2002, 2003. I worked with him for his election. That was before Esther had taken over the reins in Tunapuna. And Eddie Hart was a really great man. He wasn't a man of any major letters or any what we would call an intellect, but in his own way, he was an intellect. He was very, very, very aware of the people, and he had a deep interest in serving the people, not just the people of his constituency. I remember when Eddie Hart was the MP of Tunapuna, you had people from all kind of constituencies, all different constituencies, coming to Etihad for housing and issues in their areas because they felt that he, no other person, he was a man. He was looked at or seen as how you would have seen Jack Warner when Jack Warner was the MP in Shogunas. He was a man that worked for the people tirelessly, right? So Etihad, I would say he was a great man, and is a man that I hold a lot of, I owe a lot of, respect to in my time in Tunapuna under the PNM. So farewell, not farewell, but rest in peace, my friend. And I know most of Trinidad and Tobago who know you would say the same at this time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking before the break, we were talking about the issue in Tobago, the fact that Tobago now has no opposition, and what might be the implications of that or to that for accountability. I've heard a lot of you say that there are no implications, no real implications, because there was opposition. There were opposition before, and it didn't make a difference. I don't know how much of a difference it made, but I know the importance of opposition. Right? Opposition would sometimes bring a different perspective to the whole thing, have us thinking, and sometimes they initiate the sway, and sometimes if the government is going down the wrong path, they can have the public thinking. They can bring very insightful, very interesting, sometimes very intellectual thought to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and I think opposition in a democracy is important, certainly important. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening again.
Yes.
No, while listening to your position and taking it opposition, they could probably give some interesting perspectives and all kind of thing. But with the THA election has not gone there. That one seat that PNM hold for that 4 years, I think that's what the brethren was doing under the PNM, And the results of it is we see it in 2026, where the people vote you out. So while he talking and trying to bring perspective and give better idea and all kind of thing, the results say that the Tobagonians made a decision to vote him out. That's why you have the 15 seats to Fali.
But caller, stick up in for a second. You think it might have been because of the rhetoric, the kind of messaging that you hear from oppositions in general, as opposed to what is really needed? Because sometimes oppositions make things very personal, as opposed to dealing with the issues of the country, the issues of state, things that affects the general public or your publics in your particular constituency. Instead of that, they sometimes attack personality. They go on all kind of rant that sometimes does not take you down the road of any real change in governance. Is it that you are saying that might have been the situation in Tobago? Because I look at the elections, I heard the rant of the PNM, I heard both sides, and it ended up in some very unfortunate situations at the end. But that to me is kind of indicative of the way oppositions are seen in Trinidad and Tobago in general.
That they just do really focus on issues. They just talking any kind of thing they want to talk. Well, if if you could go into the history of that gentleman who was representing PNM for the last 4 years and bring forth any of his comments, objections under which Farley and they were governing THA and identify it as just folly and nothing serious, then I may take that position.
No,
that
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying because I was listening to the campaign, and to me, you know, you promising things like to me, what you was the kind of things you was promising and that kind of thing. I mean, that is long time politics. That is, I mean.
Right. So Farley and them was promising something more real, and based on that, the Tobago people vote for Farley and give him the 15 seats in the House. That's basically how I see it. And I don't see the conversation going on beyond that. Because the opposition have something to do, as you say, when coming to being in opposition and you have persons there representing another party. Whether the population listening to what the opposition of the executive have to say and whether it's making any sense, serious sense, that is determined when the population goes to the polls.
Yes.
And what you see is that when this gentleman was there for the last 4 years representing the PNM, the people in Tobago make a decision that whatever you are saying as an opposition, we don't care, we're not interested in that. At the end of the day, we want to give Farley 15 seats in the Tobago House of Assembly. That's what they said. That's the results. And therefore, the conversation about whether or not opposition making sense or it making sense, to me, is of no consequence.
No, I understand that. But you see, sometimes you need not necessarily an opposition, but you need a more objective party, an objective element in the body politics. Like, for instance, the Senate. How we have in Trinidad, we have well, in Trinidad and Tobago government, you have the Senate, the upper house, who can sometimes not challenge, but who can sometimes put a more non-political side of the argument to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking necessarily about an opposition per se.
Right, so what we're looking for, what you're thinking is that when the upper house in Trinidad and Tobago government go through certain policies and issues for Trinidad and Tobago to be governed by, you're thinking that the Senate is the independent place.
Well, the Senate,
make a decision?
The Senate, no, I'm thinking the Senate will bring a different kind of balance because you have independence in the Senate, which would bring which should bring a certain kind of balance.
And you ever heard the scenario when this UNC presents certain bills and the independent senators go against it or they raise their little issues concerning that? How that executive under the UNC does treat with them independent senators?
Well, it goes both ways, but
it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. But what I'm saying is, at least no. I mean, seriously. I mean, you hear it on the other side too, right?
No, I'm talking about we are under an executive arm of government right now called the UNC. And so far in the last couple of weeks, we would have been able to see certain things manifesting in governance in this country. That does not, to me, identify that they are okay when the independent senators go different to the executive. Because they come out and criticize them boldly and at times very harsh, vicious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to stop sleeping and wake up and see what our realities are.
No. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. That happens. I mean, not just the opposition. I mean, sorry, not just the government, but it happens all around. Even the man on the street will sometimes call an opposition senator a UNC or a PNM or that kind of thing. You hear it all the time. But nonetheless, the governance structure is there to create that kind of third party that would question legislation and that kind of thing, right? I'm saying that does not necessarily exist in Tobago, and that could be a question.
I hear you. I hear you. If
You
if we
understand?
hope, yeah, I hear you. What we hope for is good things, and what we have to deal with is the reality.
Yes.
That those things are not going on right now in Tobago.
Okay.
Tobago is governed right now by Fali, and the whole bunch of people who vote for Fali, and that whole 15 persons who represent Tobago interests. All we have to do right now is sit back and watch what will develop in weeks and months.
But let me ask you another question, because I had my share of Fali. I've met Fali about 3 times in the last 3 months or so. Personally, sat down and had some deep conversations with him, and I find him to be a very level-headed kind of person. What are your take on Fali and Fali governance? Not arrangement, but his style of governance in Tobago. Because you sound like you might know more about what's going on in Tobago than I.
Okay, now hear me. A little moment ago, you played a clip concerning Fali and what he said about the past Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, and how we describe him as a roasted breadfruit. Remember that's what that clip, played there?
Yeah, and he said not even a little yellow, not even the yellow one,
Right.
the white one.
He's the white one. Based on that, I have my own take on Fali. When whatever coming in the next couple of weeks for Tobago and Trinidad and everything, we will see all the consequences or the results of actions that are taken. Because the caller before, a couple of callers ago, mentioned that PNM is not was never about African people interests alone. PNM was born out of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and the ethnic groups understood that, and they gravitate towards the PNM. In the years after, having certain people talking about PNM as an African-based party, and their business is to look after African people business. Those things are lies.
But I mean, you can't blame people for saying that, because I mean, when you go back to statements made by people who are supporters of the PNM, and some of whom were MPs at certain times, people who say like the Calcutta ship coming to Tobago and all them kind of statements, right? And there are many more like it. Some even put what Eric Williams would have said, but I wouldn't say that what Eric Williams would have said was could be characterized as said when he said the recalcitrant minority. Because he was just talking about non-cooperative persons who not cooperative in the system at the time.
Correct.
But outside of that, you had a lot of politicians over the years, senior people in the party who would have characterized PNM, the PNM as said, as that.
The possibility is, just as in this last set that gone here, and this last set come out and say that the PNM is a African-based party, this last set who governing the PNM right now.
Yeah.
That's in their mind, that's how they see the PNM.
And what the PNM would have done to create that and engender that kind of thought among the supporters, when for the most part, if as you say PNM was for everybody, most people are seeing only one small percentage of people that doesn't look like the PNM benefiting from the largest of the economy.
And that would be from a perspective of how they place themselves in the PNM. So if they recognize that, listen, we are in a place to invest economically, and based on governance benefit after which we invest, then okay, they get the benefits under whatever arrangements are made. But when you're talking as if the PNM willfully decide to destroy people of African descent in Trinidad and Tobago and make them poor, I reject that thinking. That's what I'm saying.
But you have
I
people,
reject that.
you have people who came out from the belly of the PNM, major supporters, people who sat even on the General Council came out and say that kind of thing.
Yes, people are able to come out and say what they want. I agree with that. But the evidence to support that is not so. Tobago is one of the people of African descent. 60,000+ people of African descent mostly living on Tobago. They always get benefits from the People's National Movement financially, infrastructurally, orally. And there is 60,000+ African people, I could say. Comfortable. So where that coming from? Under PNM, you have the situation with the boats first to move from between the two islands. Under PNM, you got 4 brand new vessels to do the operation. Where that coming from? Who's the people talking that and people accepting it? PNM has always tried their best to look after everybody financially. And Tobago is one of the places that you could clearly identify that when coming to taxpayers' money, the PNM spend taxpayers' money in Tobago for 50,000+ people of African descent. You could clearly identify that. Every time the budget is read, you hear 2 billion, 3 billion, how much billion going to Tobago? But what are we talking about?
Well, I guess
I'm not in that group. I'm sorry.
I guess
I'm not in group.
you know, I guess you know, I like to see things objectively and listen to all sides. And sometimes when you listen to constituencies like Saparia and all these other constituencies where they are predominantly probably East Indian and this kind of thing, you will hear the concern that when the PNM is in office, those kind of constituencies, they benefit less from the allocations, regional government, local government allocations and that kind of thing. So all those things, I think that would give root to some of, or give credence to some of the concerns that Trinidad and Tobago has in relation to race and that kind of thing. But I hear you.
I hear you, my brother. I am saying that when you're looking at all what people could say, they are free to say so, but the evidence must be presented in order for me to take what it is they're saying. And I know that Tobago people over the years have benefited from a PNM administrator spending billions of dollars to look after 50,000+ people of African descent on Tobago. I know that.
Okay.
That's fact.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the little time, big man.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Yeah. Let's take this other caller. Caller, good evening, Bataya.
Good evening. And gentlemen, sir, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Because Mr. Matheson, here was the argument. Up to when PNM even under Mr. Manning, how come, and it wasn't 50,000 yet, 50,000 people getting $2 billion. What it is in Tobago that these 50,000 people deserve $2 billion. Right? The same thing, they call the person penal and debate. Well, let me ask you a question. Any one of those corporations or any one of those parliamentary representatives ever bring the breakdown of allocations from the PNM administration to show you that, because under this administration,
that was
presently now,
that was in the newspaper just a couple months ago.
That is between this administration.
No,
that is what I'm saying, showing that, hold on, showing that the PNM get so much and so much a million short. Imbert came and showed us under their administration, the same thing Tong get, the same thing San Fernando get, almost the same thing Shogunas get, and to tell you, the reason why this one I get 500,000 less is because of XYZ. In all the years, not one UNC politician could come to the parliament and show me a document where Siparia was getting so much and so much, and when the PNM thing, they get less. Or the minister move and they cut down my allocations to this. They just talk that talk, and ball I ain't getting this and I ain't getting that. But they could never come with a document in the parliament to justify the argument. That is why they were considered, and I called them up to just recently, a group of, right now presently, especially, because they were going on. Think about this, Mr. Matterson. Right now, Moody's was Standard and Poor's or whatever, give you a downgrade in it. Right. Compare this. In 9 months, Standard and Poor's or Moody's downgrade us. And compare the prediction from Standard and Moody's before this administration gets into office. So the two parties are not the same. Because if you look at Standard and Moody's have nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago and politics and race. They are looking at the economics and the direction of the government and where it's taking the country. And under Keith Christopher Rowley, we had a positive outlook. Under this administration, I get downgraded to almost negative. And they was calling that at that time young bonds.
You know, there are economists who will say what you're saying there to be misleading, right?
Well, they have to tell me which part. Why say they fact?
The reason why they will tell it is misleading is because for the last 10 years, the PNM was in charge. The past 9 years. And when those downgrades took place, was sometime 3 months after the UNC came into office.
Yes.
After not even
hold on.
Not even having a budget.
No, hold on. But they already took $1 billion out of the economy at that point in time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
therefore, and up to now nobody can. No, Mr. Matterson, forget that.
Judge them on. If they
no, Mr. Matterson, Mr. Matterson, just by taking that $1 billion out of the economy, that alone downgraded us. That takes me. But let me say I had 8 months of import cover, and they have a rating from the time your import cover drop under so and so. This is what your rating is.
But let me ask you something.
And that's what happened.
I like this conversation. So that 1 point something billion that US that they took out of the economy, what they took that what they took that out to do? To run the country or to teach?
I don't know. So here was my question.
Say don't know. Because
I really don't know neither because nobody not telling us.
No, listen. Here what happened. You need to research me. Right?
Nobody is telling us.
And where I sit, I know some things.
Right? I met the Minister of Finance in a gas station and asked the Minister of Finance, there's a conversation from the former Prime Minister stating that you all took $1 billion. I tell him, the man in the gas station, that you all took $1 billion out. No, that ain't true. He's saying that to me. And I'm saying, wait. So here my question after asking you that question. I saw a cement company come back to Trinidad and Tobago called Rockhard. And my question is, where is Rockhard getting all this US dollars to import all this cement? And they said to me that Rockhard money. So my question to them, so when Rockhard collect all Trinidad money, how is he going to continue to buy it? So he's going to take all the UTT dollars and put it in the bank in Trinidad and Tobago? So or is that where some of my $1 billion went? Because after that, the amount of trucks and this and that coming to this country. So I asked him, is that where part of my $1 billion gone? And nobody can tell me yet who invited Rockhard into Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Matterson. Enjoy evening again.
Okay, thank you. You know, if you were to continue this argument, if you come into office, let's take this call. Caller, good evening.
Yes. So, a pleasant good afternoon again to the Third Empire, Mr. Matterson.
Yeah.
Right. Now, okay. They're saying that the downgrade came on the last half of the People's National Movement and so on. All right. Which I know is not true, but are they telling you? Are they saying all right?
Okay.
Right? Okay. Now, on campaign trail, Mrs. Bissessa said that British Prime Minister said, it's all over social media. A British Prime Minister said, you cannot tax a nation into prosperity. It is like a man standing up in a bucket
and trying to lift
himself up by the handle of the bucket. Right? And she's saying that we, our UNC government, they will come, when they come into office, they will not pressure the citizens with these heavy taxes. As a matter of fact, to solve the problem, we will use these taxes. Right? What we see now.
Kola, let me ask you something.
Right, so.
Kola, let me ask you something.
Right.
Let me ask you something. You believe in magic? You believe in magic?
If I believe in magic?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so let me
ask
let me ask you a question. Tell me if this is not magic. If the PNM, while they were in the office in the last few years, they would have done a whole set of development, including trying to build a highway to Sandy Grande, which made no sense. Right? They didn't change anything in the traffic. Allow me to finish. An airport in Tobago, a big airport in Tobago, and half of which they would have left debts, meaning that the contractors wasn't paid in total. They were owing millions to complete, but they went and opened these things. They didn't finish paying for it. A lot, and these are just two projects I'm talking about. All over Trinidad and Tobago, they would have done things like that. They would have, on the eve of elections, they would have increased, they would have extended contracts. You hear what I'm telling you? The kind of thing in HTC alone, $1.3 billion in debts. How do you expect, coming to the magic part, how do you expect to get all the things you're asking and pay all and fix all these things that the citizens complaining about without doing the other side of the thing, the income part of raising taxes or raising revenue somewhere? How would you do that? Even if you said it, you will not do it on your campaign train. Tell me if it's not magic. If it wouldn't be magic, not doing that. Tell me.
Yeah, but I can't say those things because you're fooling people.
What?
No, listen. No, Mr. Madison, I know that I am not a fool.
Yeah? You hear the question?
I am not a fool.
Right.
Yes, but I am not a fool. I know these things, right? But what I am pointing to you is that they are lying to get into office.
No, they're not lying. They didn't
right?
know.
This is what I'm trying to show you. You're seeing my part of it.
Okay,
but I see yours. You can't. I know you cannot turn around and tell me overnight. Right? But they lie and tell the people that they're going to lower taxes.
Well, you give the people your proposition as to what you feel you could do. But when you get in and you see what's happening, you would not know. You would not know before you get any kind of contracts was extended and kind of money was being owed. You would not have known that.
Yeah, but it's the same thing when you and see left office too.
Well, you see, you're going back to that.
And so, them never campaign about the taxes.
What? The PM said, you remember Rowley said we will not close down Petrotrin. Remember Rowley said we will not close down Petrotrin, and it was closed down after days after.
But now what I'm trying to show is looking to looking bad because she tells the population she will lower the taxes and they're expecting that. There are some people they understand that. They're expecting taxes to go down. Now a man paying $10,000 for a ticket. So what do you think will happen? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think will happen next time around?
Well, we
right? Okay. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy Eddie.
Tobagonians was experiencing the same thing. And a blue wave came in Tobago. So, I mean, let's wait and see what will happen. Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening.
Yes, Umpire Matheson. I think the program, it took a diversionary tactic there on here. The people try to swing the program. You think the topic started on the situation in the House of Assembly in Tobago with no opposition, right? And I think, right, and what I'm saying is that the topic went off course a little bit, right?
It did.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, we have instances in the Caribbean, I talk about national assemblies now, in Barbados and Grenada, where the governments there won power by landslide. We had in Grenada, we had 1999, 2013, and 2018. And in Barbados, we had 2022 and 2018, right? And probably we could look at how they solved their situations in terms of landslide victories. In Grenada, 15 seats, in Barbados, 30 seats, right? I think on the last occasion in Barbados, which was 2022, I think a member crossed the floor and became opposition, which is the same thing what was done in Trinidad in 1971-72. In Grenada, I do not know, but I think the government operated as a government for all the terms with no opposition. So we have to look into these things because there's precedence. Although Tobago is not a national government,
yes,
it's more or less it is a more local government system, right? Or local government functionary.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, we have to look at these kind of for a remedy,
mm-hmm,
right? But again, I am stating that the people spoke. I don't want to have nobody who didn't vote, because people fought for adult suffrage in Trinidad and Tobago in 1946,
mm-hmm,
right? And people have all rights to come out and vote. So who didn't come out and vote? And then
you can't count that. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't count that if they didn't come out and vote. The election was decided among those persons who voted.
Of course, that is the result. As I say in politics, the elections threw up that result. So we have to live with it, right? And again, I'm saying the House of Assembly in Tobago has the PNM, the government of the day has oversight over that house. And then we have the control mechanism like the auditor. You can't spend money and do what you want. We have the auditor general still have supervisory powers, oversight. We have the controller of accounts.
Because they come like a local government body.
Of course, right? So this thing where people could do what they want, and the thing, they cannot do what they want, right?
Correct.
Right? They have to perform in accordance with the rules of and that governs Trinidad and Tobago, whether it's financial rules, whatever rules, right? We just cannot go and do things anyhow. What they say, vai or laissez-faire, which is the correct term to use in politics. So I watch it and see it, right? But I know, right? As far as I know, there is no input into the House of Assembly that a member could redirect himself, right? And or cross the floor, right? And I think I do not know, but if somebody knows, they could call and say, because I never heard about that, because this is our first time issue, right? If a member could cross the floor.
It's not really a first time issue, as we would have identified in 71. We had a situation like that in Trinidad and Tobago, vote campaign, and Eric Williams.
Yeah.
And
I know that. Mm-hmm.
But Tobago is a first time issue in a situation
in
like
House
Tobago, because Tobago is like a local government
yes,
authority.
yes, that's my point. It's the first time in a look in Tobago House of Assembly, because it happened here in most of the some of the corporations like Princeton and even San Fernando and all had times there where was one party won all the seats in the local government elections.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And the councils they govern until the next election. Yeah. So we have to wait and see, but I do not think people should be making an issue about Fali or the TPP winning all these seats. Right? That is what the election turned out, and we have to live with it.
And I agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, what existed 4 years ago and 4 years into Fali's administration, I'm not seeing any opportunities for anything different. So, and the leadership in Fali, it does not appear as though he would probably go down that road in any case.
No, well, of course, he wouldn't go down that road because he'll want to win again.
Exactly.
Yes, he'll want to win again, right? So he won't contaminate himself or contaminate us with people and things who will more or less lead him to the road of destruction. Yeah. So I don't see the big issue. My thing, we live under. I'll say it again, Westminster system. Winner takes all. Right?
Yeah.
And if the elections turn up all the seats of Fali, that is what the elections. That's what the result is, and we have to live with it.
And we have to live with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
so that's all I have to say.
Yeah. So
okay,
thank you.
Brother.
Let me take our next call here. Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening.
Good afternoon, Mr. Marcus. You know, I was listening to the conversation and I just want to say, you see, this race in politics or ethnicity or whatever skin color, it is just a distraction, in my opinion, from what politics really is. And notwithstanding the effects that the inclusion of this
You're breaking up, caller, you're breaking up. But you're correct. Although I'm seeing some shifts, some movements away from that to a large extent. Tobago in particular is a kind of homogeneous kind of society, so you don't have that issue there so much. And to a large extent, what happened in April in Trinidad didn't really represent, even if it was tried, it didn't work. So I'm not seeing that as I'm seeing that as something, a dying phenomena. That situation of race and politics in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, those older folks who still want to go with it, but certainly the young people are seeing things a lot different. Caller, good evening. Hello? Yeah, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Mathis. Now, I'm saying that notwithstanding the effects that this practicing of racism and casteism and all the discrimination strategies that it have out there, notwithstanding the effects that it actually have in reality on the lives of many persons, it is really a distraction from what politics really is, right? And you see, what ought to be present in leadership, and I'm coming back to this Tobago aspect where it have no opposition present, what will give the country what it is looking for is if it have honesty and maturity, so that although nobody is perfect, you're mature enough to accept criticism, use reasoning and logic to see when and where you might have not hit the mark, and you go and come again, right? As I say, I am happy that Tobago has what it takes to send a message. Because for far too long, leadership in our governance structure, when it was handed to the red or the yellow, we have continuously seen a pattern, right, where there is this race element and we are almost always distracted from what politics is, which is really supposed to be people who have character, because that is what will determine how you make decisions, right? Not if whatever other qualifications you might have. If we don't look at your character, we will continue to end up with square pegs in wrong holes all over the place in this country. But as I say, based on what continues to happen, I'm happy that we have a sister, I Love Tobago, who has what it takes to use the power that they're given during elections to strip power from those who you deem not worthy of it. Because it cannot be that for after all these decades, right, we still see the attitude of our politicians in the parliament, right? We see their attitude in the Senate, and it is always left wanting, always left wanting. We I don't know why our many media they shortchange us, right, in terms of, I don't believe that they be asking the right questions and sometimes have in their artillery the same statements that politicians previously made and have it and feed it back to them right there and put them on the spot and show the nation and the world exactly the character of the individual who might be holding power or want to hold power. And this is what we need to look at if we really want to move in a better direction. And last but not least, before I leave, the fast downturn, if I putting it that way, in the economy cannot be solely placed on this government, right? Because if it was that they inherited roses, I don't think the roses would have just withered away so fast, and there was not plenty information as to, all right, this amount gone to that amount gone. So even if it have no evidence coming behind it,
well, the rhetoric I'm hearing is as if they expected that the nonsense that was left behind for the last government, or whether you call it nonsense or what, the debts or whatever, shouldn't this new government should just roll over and die and do nothing.
And you know, as you say that, Mr. Matheson, it brings me back to my first point at the beginning of the show where I spoke about we giving people power and a mandate, and it is up for renewal in 5 years. There's general election, right? But they get into all type of activities that span way over the 5 years without having some sort of proper consultation that you get feedback and the go ahead from the people that you're governing.
Exactly.
Right? So we have all kind of projects that we are still paying for, owing, and all kind of madness going on. We looking into rental agreements. We don't know if the property that we renting bringing in any income, or if it's just dead money that we continue to spend all for the benefit of political friends and family. And as I say,
and expecting the incumbent to continue along that or die.
Well, the thing about it, Mr. Matheson, if PNM supporters have this high expectation of Ms. Prasad Bisesa after they lost the general election, I find that very laughable, because I don't have no very high expectation of Ms. Prasad Bisesa and them, but I understand that the same slogan that PNM tend to use is what came to haunt them, because you can put a frog in any seat, they would have still lost, and the seat would have go to the UNC, whether if a frog was there for the UNC. And these are the things Duso don't like. So, and Granny say, you can't trust a politician as far as you could throw them, right? But a lot of things that the PNM do came back to haunt them in the end, because Trinidadians is of nature by just taking people that take and take someone, take again and take.
All right, caller. So we're going to end the program now, and for the listeners, Kaiso Russo House or Kaiso Russo Calypso Tent. Don't forget to go down there tomorrow night. It's open. That's at City Hall Auditorium, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Right? Caller, I've given you a few seconds here. Oh, well, right. So thank you. We will see you on the program tomorrow.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry.